Okay, good morning everyone. Hello. We've just got back from our little hack. He was awesome. So it'll be a pretty short stream today. We'll just do half an hour. Hopefully the sound is working. We can only pray, as I still have no idea what makes it work some days and not others. As usual, we'll just quickly share to Facebook. If you haven't already subscribed, it'll let you know. If you put the notification icon on, it'll let you know when the next one's starting or when I upload a video. Got itchy face. Well, it was very exciting, wasn't it? Right. Okay. Check. Yep, everything's as it should be. Quickly check the stream health. I think that's the first time you've shook in the saddle. And a yawn. Well, apparently everything is working exactly as it should. Imagine that. Very good quality, apparently. You okay? You funny boy. Right. Okay. I've got to take the GoPro off. Yeah, we had a fantastic little hack out with Puff. Uncle Puff showing you the ways of the world, eh? Even if Uncle Puff's had 3 weeks off, still got it. Okie dokes. Should we go for a little poodle? Little ride around? Okay. What do you think? Little ride around? Yeah, let's do it. Hey, let's do it. Okay. Well, if this is your first time watching one of these streams, no, this is not how we normally go about it. Normally I play on the ground first, but today Lollipop's warm-up has been done by going out for a hack with Uncle Puff. Something that's very important for you to know is that these videos are not an how to start your young horse video. This is basically me working with my lovely little young horse and sharing my thoughts as I do it. And you may learn something from just hearing me talk about what I'm thinking while I'm riding. You might already know all of it, I don't know. This is not supposed to be anything planned or set schedule. It's meant to just be a freestyle thing where I can kind of do my own thing with my own horse and explain why I'm doing it and really show what it takes to get a horse ready to go and do a big show. We'll be doing one of these every day that I can from now until November, where I'll be presenting little Lollipop at the Horsemanship Showcase and sort of doing a demonstration showing off what we can do. And I don't know that it's ever really been documented, all of the time that is required to really take a young horse from unhandled, or in his case very lightly handled, to a successful riding horse. We show a lot of the demonstrations where we show what we're looking for. So we'll teach a horse to jump in one session and we'll go through the stages and show you all the steps. But we rarely, if we're ever going to create, this is, if I was to create a jumping video, I wouldn't do it the way this is formatted. I'd have a horse and we'd do a session and I'd make a change and I'd talk about that change and then we'd wait maybe even cut the video out while I'm waiting for the horse to settle back, relax, be ready to go again, and then we do the next step and we go through until we've got all the steps done and I have a wonderful jumping horse. With this, with what I'm doing with Lollipop, I'm just showing all of it, in all the different ways I train things, and not expecting any one day to necessarily be a lesson, right? Like, it might just be a day where we repeat things that we've already done, or like today we've done things in a very different order, and the idea is not to show a finished product of what it should look like, or a completely raw, unfinished thing. It's to show the hours, the repetition, the practice, the mistakes that I will make, that he will make, and how we overcome those mistakes. And then in November, hopefully we can put on a really amazing show for everyone. But if not, you're going to know why, because you're going to have seen every little thing we struggled with, all the things we tried to get right, all the things that went wrong, rather than it being a mystery. You'll be able to look back and go, wow, that's why Jamie couldn't do the fire breathing. He's not practiced that enough with Lollipop, or whatever that thing might be. Hi. Well, should we go for a walkabout? Come on, don't ignore the leg. We know what it means. You're beyond that beginning session, aren't you? Really nice, Lollipop. Already loving this. What a wonder Arab. What a wonder Arab. There's something truly special about going from not being able to do this to it being this easy, right? For me to just be able to sit here and enjoy it, rather than feeling like I gotta work for it. And I've said it before, but this, walking the rail, needs to just become complete autopilot for Lollipop. I need to just be able to set him on it and he just does it, and it's just completely normal. And so you're going to see me spending a lot of hours just walking the rail now, trotting the rail now, canter the rail now, until he just does it, right? Almost like a robot, although I don't want a horse that is like a robot. I also want him to just do this. Right? This is not something I want to have to explain each time. This is just a warm-up in the riding, even. We haven't even got to the point where we actually work in the riding, yeah? We're just teaching him how to be okay in the warm-up. But if you've been watching the stream, this is already much better than we've been getting. There's a few reasons for that. We had a few little issues with a bird last time, and we've had a few other little problems that came up that we had to work on that were individual. But, you know, we've pretty much been able to walk the rail for a few days now. We just haven't really done it, right? But he's come out here feeling really good today. Probably because he's had an extended warm-up. We hacked for almost an hour and a half, me and Puff. Not particularly fast or hard, but just walk and trot, checking out all the stuff that was going on. And so Lollipop's been out with us, hanging out, doing all of that, so he's feeling pretty solid today. Willing though, which is nice. Not just sometimes when they get more confident, they become a bit heavy. There's none of that at all. There's definitely a softness to it. Those hindquarter heels are feeling much better. They're a little bit exaggerated maybe, but not bad at all, Lollipop. What's really nice with Lollipop right now is there just doesn't feel like there's any worry, right? He doesn't feel especially stressed. Now that could change in an eye blink. You know, he's a young horse, of course that could just suddenly change. But there's no real stress, right? Good boy. There we go. There's a lovely willingness to him today. Whoa, that is not the easiest thing to ride though, Lollipop. Your prancy trot. No, it's not. My word. It's like being thrown around in a dishwasher. Mostly because you're a little bit inconsistent. There we go. Very nice. Very nice, Lollipop. Now we're going to try and trot the rail. Whoa. Even if we're a little bit all over the place. Let's do it, hey? Why not? Since we can, hey? Loving this. The last time I rode him till we got a consistent trot and stopped. But we were on a circle. There we go. Good boy. So let's just do that again. I love horses. They're just the best. I'm riding that trot. That trot that I've been wanting to ride for years. It's not your pranciest trot, is it? But it's still... I'm riding a Lollipop trot. It's been so many years in the incoming. I know you've had a long day, so I'm not going to overdo it too much. I don't really want to end when you're thinking back and being a bit slow though. I want to end when you're feeling like you're going somewhere. Like that's a bit better. It's hard to describe the difference, right? Like, maybe you can see it. I definitely can feel it. Like there's a time when he's thinking about stopping and there's a time when he's just settled and moving forward. And you're getting a bit tired now, huh? I can feel it. We are actually getting into the work. I was saying we weren't into work, but we kind of are now a bit, eh? One more. I want to feel you settle into it rather than always think. See, he's kind of... I know he's a little tired, and I'm kind of conscious of that, but I'm being as confident as I can, saying go, because I want him to just get into a nice, like, working rhythm, where at the moment he's getting distracted and thinking about lots of other things. I really want him to just settle into it. He's kind of going, maybe I can get out of it by wiggling and doing all this other stuff and prancing. And it's like, no. What I need you to do is to get into that travelling mentality rather than this... We talked about it in his groundwork, how he'd come out and he'd be just super mega prance all the time, right? And it was wonderful and amazing, but I don't want that to be his default, right? His default needs to be a working trot that's just a steady trot that he can do all day. One that's very easy to ride, very easy to maintain, and it takes them a while to really... He's starting to get it now. To start to really settle into it. God, even your slow trot's fabulous though, isn't it? Oh, this corner's the hard one, isn't it, for you? You really want to stop in that corner. We're nearly done. Puff's sort of looking on like, oh yeah, I remember those days. Oh, learning that consistent trot. Hey, lollipop, that's a hard lesson. Oh, it's so lovely along this side. Good boy, a nice stretch too. Keep it going. Sorry, I didn't mean to slap into the back of the saddle there. That was a bit shit on my part, wasn't it? I'm letting him drift a little bit. I would much rather he was on the fence, but he's, yeah. Come on, a little bit longer. That's a boy. I know. He's like, I'm trying to find the end now, I'm quite tired. Make it through this corner without me having to nudge you on. Oh, that's it, keep going. A little bit, yeah, good. Oh, that downward transition. Oh, that was pretty spectacular, that downward transition. Keep walking. Oh, he's like, oh my god, I'm too tired. I'm too tired to walk on though. I know. You did really well. We got to walk at least a lap before we stop. I'm not going to have you slamming those brakes on from trot. Well, this is going to be the shortest session we've done, isn't it? In here. But also probably the most exciting. Because that very quickly develops into canter the rail. I get to ride your canter soon. I'm guessing by the end of next week we'll be cantering in here. Attaboy. I probably could have cantered today, to be fair, for the first time. There we go. But the lovely thing is, I've got so many individual things that I'm working on with him, so many little steps that are building on each other. I don't need to rush with him. I've got nothing to prove to him. I've got nothing to prove to you guys. At least not now. He's at that lovely stage where he's still learning, but he's just getting better so fast. And we just keep going at a gradual pace, adding bits on, and getting that trot the rails really nice. Going from, we were barely getting a step, and in 4 sessions we've got trot the rail. Not to mention we've done whip cracking. We've been going out and seeing scary dustbins, and cars and lorries. Not to mention doing some of the nicest hindquarter yields as well. So I'm a bit tired to do hindquarter yields. I know. I've pushed you quite hard physically today, haven't I? Oh, I know, but we did a hindquarter yield this way, so we had to do one that way. Otherwise we wouldn't be even. Would we? You'll probably notice I almost always stop in the middle, or in one of the corners, and that's to help get that draw so he comes round with a nice arc. And I think today is the first day I actually physically pushed you. It's all been mental up till this point, hasn't it? Oh. Oh dear, little Arab. And of course, because he's an Arab, he can run 100 miles. Of course he can. He's not, I say I'm pushing him, I'm not pushing him so hard he's going to have problems. But more than just, wandering around and, doing things. We've been doing less exercise in here than he does playing in the field, right? So it's not been a physical challenge. Where today, going out for a long hack, coming in here and then trotting the rail for 10-15 minutes, if that. I don't actually know how long we trotted for. It wasn't very long, was it? That consistently trotting for a long time, having already gone out and done quite a bit, is beyond anything physical he's ever done. Not to mention carrying a great big fat lump and a big heavy western saddle. So, really proud of you for all that, dude. Should we try something a little different? Since you're feeling really solid. We're going to do something ambitious, which you should never do, by the way. My instructor would get cross with me. For trying this even. But particularly at the end of a session that's gone really well. So I'm breaking a lot of rules with this one, but I think we'll be okay. What do you think? We're going to go for a new thumbnail. It's a little different, isn't it? It's a little different, isn't it, Lollipop? You're alright, dude. You're okay. There's nothing to worry about, I promise you. You do this in such a way that you know he's always going to spook that way, right? And that's what makes this like not such a bad thing. And I'm always prepared to launch myself off that way too. So I'll go like this, down. Boy. So clever. Yes, you are. So proud of you. But if I'm honest, I normally do this a little earlier, but my wrist has really not been up for supporting me here. Yeah? Hello? This is probably the most dangerous moment, because he's seeing me out of that eye, he's more likely to spook the other direction. But we talked about it with the bareback mounting, and this is all in the same vein as the bareback mounting. You're trying to balance between making the horse feel safe by being chilled out, not stressed, and keeping yourself as safe as possible. This exercise in particular is not the safest compared to bareback mounting, which, you know, I almost always do without a hat on because it's easier. But this in particular is one of those where actually it's not the safest. Wasn't too bad, was it? No, it wasn't too bad. It's a bit weird, I'll give you that. We do one more? Alright, you're bloody spoilt though. Don't deny it, you're spoilt. And you saw like I got off quite quickly there, because he started to do his I'm not sure face to the right instead of to the left, where my rope is. And I could have been like, no, look to the left, very easily, but I was already in a vulnerable position, and he was already like a little bit unsure of what I was doing. Like there, he's done it again, where he's like, I'm a little unsure. And when he's looking this side, I'm more concerned than when he's looking to the left, because to the left I can sort of eject. Right. You don't have to do anything, right? Your human's an idiot, and you don't have to do anything. Just ignore him, because he's an idiot. Right? What a good little lollipop. God, why does that always happen? Always the same. Something just went bang over there. I don't know if you could hear it. It's just every time, isn't it? When we're doing something that makes us a little uncertain, I swear the world works really hard to scare my horses while I'm midway through it. But the more times I practice going up and down, the more confident he's going to get. And that was awesome. That was awesome. Wasn't it? Proud of you, dude. My last sweetie. Not reaching further. Not that adjusting. Got it? Good boy. So yeah, this is not advised, the way that I'm doing this. It's kind of the safest way for me to do it right now. At the end of a day when he's been really confident. My wrist feeling as good as it can. There's our new thumbnail. I hope that looks good on the camera. We've had that walking thumbnail for a while, haven't we? Yes. Yes, we have. Brilliant. You're wonderful, hey? Come on. Oh, well, I hope you've enjoyed the stream today, guys. It's been a fun one. A little different from what we've been doing. Much, much quicker. Like, wow. We flew through that. Oh, heart rate 124. Surprised me. The Fitbit's going, what are you doing that's so physically exerting? Well, I am standing on top of the fireball of an Arabian. That was awesome. Way to go, dude. I know. Breaking my own rules, in that I'd got a really good thing and I decided to go for a bit more. Which those of you that watched the earlier part of this stream will know. That's breaking the rules. Oh, little lollipop. He's such a sweet boy. He was such a sweet little pony. And again, this is not how you should untack a young horse. This is me untacking my little wonderful lollipop. And if you send your horse in for training, you'll see videos of me tacking and untacking them, and this probably won't be how I do it. So this is not an educational how to untack your young horse video. But it is me working with one of my horses that I've known for many years, who's just old enough now to become a riding horse, and is just doing amazingly well. Aren't you? So proud of you. Yes. Want to have a rub? Oh, you know, you've always got an itchy face after that, haven't you? Humans are the best scratching posts, aren't we? Huh? Now, anyone that's watching and thinking, I wouldn't let a young horse do that, because there are certain instructors who would not allow this. My rule is that if I don't feel like I can tell him to stop, I don't allow it. So I can be like, no, and there's no resistance, right? If he started kind of going, no, I'm going to shove you over, then the game has to change. So lovely. That's my rule, and that might not be your rule. You are creating a partnership between you and your horse, always, right? Doing what you're doing now, everything you do with your horse is taking that information and using it to decide what your relationship will be between the two of you. And I don't mind if he wants to rub his face on me, as long as I can say no. Those are the rules that I want to set aside for that. But this is true of everything, right? When you're working with your horse, even just leading him in and out from the field, he is determining how your partnership will go. He is sort of taking notes and writing down this contract between you and him, or you and her. And you have to set very strict rules on yourself, because your horse doesn't do well with half, right? Or, well, I kind of am okay with that. That's not something they find very easy to wrap their head around. And I know there are some things, half halt being probably one of the best examples, where you can't really do it without it being sort of a half thing, but you'll find those are always the things you have the most trouble with, right? The things that are black and white, your horse will very quickly just go, oh yeah, that's black and white. Right, well, once again, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will hopefully see you guys soon. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not till Monday, depends on how my weekend is, but I will see you all soon.